2021 is here, and never have we all been so ready to start a new year. During this season, we find ourselves answering questions like, what am I looking forward to? What can I improve? Who do I want to become? Today on the Chat and Chew Show, we'll take a look at some of the best advice offered in order to help you make this year count. These are the Chat and Chew's 11 rules of success. Get ready to take notes, Chat Tribe, and let us know in the comments which rule inspired you to take action. Happy New Year from us to you.
Feel like you should definitely bring yourself to whatever whatever you're doing, right? I was thinking even yesterday, the more you can be the same wherever you are, like if you are a loving deacon in your church, when you go home to your family, you want to also be loving to your family. Y'all know what I'm saying? With your friends, you want to also be like loving, right? However, there's also different ways that we operate in different spaces based on the culture of what is appropriate in that space. So I think when you can come to the place where you are yourself, but then you also know how to navigate the networking event, you know how to navigate when you go to the formal event, you know how to navigate when you're in front of the meeting, I think is great. And so if you're in corporate or you're like doing, you're a career professional, I think there's some like nuances there. However, as an entrepreneur, one of the things I remember hearing a few months ago from someone who's another really successful coach, he said, think about who you are at your best, right? What are 3 words to describe that? With your clients, you want to be level 12 of that. You want to be like over 100% of who you are at your best, because people are not hiring just a coach. They're hiring you. They're hiring who you are, the essence of who you are at your best. Mm-hmm. So I would say if you're an entrepreneur, you own a spa shop, let them see you at 150%. If you do hair, let people who you do hair for see you at your best at 150%. However, if you're a career professional, you want to be yourself, but I think you also need to operate with what is appropriate with the culture. For example, if you're in a meeting and you're a talker, but you want to let other people talk, too. So you want talking and you want to let other people talk. So like, think about whatever the culture is of your company and make sure that whatever you're giving is appropriate, but just don't be like not at all yourself. Like, be yourself, but also understand how to operate. So I think that's a tricky question, but I do want my clients to be the fullest version of who they are as much as is possible.
Yourself to other people. First of all, let me just say this, that God created you with your special gifts and talents and your craziness.
Let's know the craziness.
That's crazy, because we all have some craziness.
We do.
If we are honest about it, and that is okay.
Yep.
It's okay for you to be you. It's okay for you to be who God created you to be. It's okay for you to have your quirkiness. You do not have to be like someone else. The world would be so plain and bland if we all lived and thought the same way.
It's so true.
But we all have different, like when you see flowers that are different colors and put together, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
That's, I believe, that how God, especially with us ladies, how he wants us to be. And it's okay for you to champion other women in I know, one of my kids.
That's okay.
And that's okay. Right. I bet the other podcaster don't have kids.
No,
the other podcaster.
This is your space.
I know.
See, this is all okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the first step is to kind of affirm yourself that if you're having any type of mental challenges, it doesn't mean that you're weak. It just means you're human, right? That's just part of the human experience. Like, the example I like to give is like my roommate right now. His dog has a therapist, right? And is on antidepressants. I'm thinking like,
no.
I'm like, if a dog can get that kind of care, like why should we be ashamed, right? So I think, the first step is just to say, hey, this is something that I deserve this, right? Then if I mean, there are different paths of therapy and different ways to go about it, right? Even without going to therapy, something as important as movement, like some type of movement, exercise, just to either going for a walk for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, right? Just because what you don't want to do is just to be idle. When you're idle, like all you can do is think, right? So when you're moving around, you kind of get your mind moving in the right places. So what I do, what something that's also important is that also exposure to sunlight. And a lot of times, just having, and I wake up in the morning, I kind of go out there like the first 10 minutes trying to, get some sun. Because I noticed that without that, it kind of feels like everything is dark. But with all things, I think those are things you can do on your own. But I do think it's extremely important to seek professional help. And I think because Africans, people of color, we're very religious people. So some of the pushback I get from people is that, well, I don't want to go to a therapist, and that means that my faith in God is not as strong, or like I'm being weak, I'm not trusting God enough. So that's why we have this shirt that says prayer and therapy. You can do both, right? You can. It doesn't mean because you're seeing a therapist, it means whatever faith you have, you're doing less of that. So, and a good therapist, actually, their role is to use whatever you consider as strengths in your life to kind of help you through that process. So if you're someone that goes to church frequently, or go to Bible study, and you're no longer going to that, well, a good therapist, well, what's going on there? Because the function of that community is also good for your mental health, right? We're social creatures. We're not meant to be alone in isolation. So I mean,
again, this has been a tough year for not just the world, but also personally for our family. You guys know I went through and am going through a lot of stuff right now. And I've been one that whenever hard times came, I'm just retreating. I'm just getting out of here, trying to figure out how I can get out of it. But this is one I couldn't and can't just get out. And it made me realize, and I'm gonna try not to cry, that I am stronger than I ever thought I was. And I'm realizing now that you don't know that until you go through it. You don't know that you're strong. You don't know how much weight you can pick up until the weight is handed to you. And now you got to struggle to pick it up. And I'm like, dang, I'm doing some. And so that has helped me to think, no matter what I am going to go through in the future, that I have what it takes to be able to go through it. You know what I mean? So that's a huge lesson for me this year.
Now, a delicious word. Let's chew.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Roxanne, and today we're making a smoothie bowl. Now, what I like about smoothie bowls is that it feels like I'm eating ice cream, but I also feel like I'm being healthy about it. And also, you can have them in the morning, and you can have it at night as a sweet treat. It's all up to you. And so we're going to get started today by getting our ingredients together as usual. And I'm using 1 frozen banana, about 3/4 of a cup of almond milk. I'm using a handful of spinach. You can use any kind of greens you want. And then I'm also using a hearty tablespoon of peanut butter because I love peanut butter. So we're going to actually start by mixing together the almond milk and the spinach because we want that spinach to get cut up pretty fine. And so we're throwing those into the blender first. And we're going to blend those until that's pretty smooth and it's going to be more liquidy, right? And then we're going to add our other ingredients that are a little thicker, our peanut butter, and we're going to add our banana, and that'll thicken up that mixture and see if it's thick enough for you. If not, you can always add ice to it and get more of that ice cream kind of feel. because you do kind of want it thick because you're going to pour it into a bowl and you're going to eat it with a spoon and all that, right? So once you have all that mixed up, we're going to put it into our bowl, and we now can add our toppings. And I'm adding a pumpkin and flaxseed granola, and then I'm also adding chia seeds because they're a little more filling. And then I'm going to add some strawberries, and you can add other fruits if you'd like, because this is a light tasting smoothie. There's not really any strong flavors in here. You can actually be a little liberal with your fruit. I'm just adding strawberries because I love strawberries, but you can add some blueberries if you want, if you like the raspberry kind of flavor, or anything you want. And also, if you find that it's a little tart, then you can add some honey as well, and just sprinkle a little over the top, and it goes a long way. All right, so give it a try. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it feels like you're eating ice cream or not. All right, until next time.
Most definitely, because this is what my body was designed to do, to produce children, and it's not. And then you get into that comparison trap where you're around people are being fruitful, quote unquote, and multiplying through their womb. And so it's like, Lord, and then again, he take me to scriptures like Psalm 139, like I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and how he knew me before I was born. He knew all the days. So I'm like, this didn't catch him off guard. And even in me not bearing children, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So just having to navigate that and encouraging other women too, because the devil, he will put those lies in you. Some people may even say that, but you're still a woman, and we live on a broken world where there are other illnesses and sicknesses. That doesn't make people less human because they're battling with this illness. This is just the illness I had to deal with. How was
So for me, I learned the power in just being okay with how things are when they don't look the way you want them to. Especially when it's things that are outside of your control. For instance, this virus, the whole mask situation, wearing a mask everywhere you go, getting out the car, forgetting the mask, and having to come back when you walked halfway down the parking lot, and getting back to the car, being mad, coming out the store and your face is sweating because it's been under the mask, ripping it off and wanting to, all of that. And then also just adjusting to how relationships look now in this time, because I'm a relationship person. All of my friendships are close friendships, and I don't have many. It's like a group of 7 really good, close friends, and I like to see them often. I'm the type of person that will throw a gathering just because I want to see my friends. It's nobody's birthday, nothing's going on. It's just like, I want to see y'all. So I'm having a game night. It's one of those things. And so this year has taught me that I got to be okay with the way things are sometimes. And I can't control everything. I can't fix everything. And there's a lesson in that, and learning to be still and just learn what it is that God is trying to teach me in the moment. And that's powerful for me, because sometimes I can be on the go. Like I said, I'm always busy. I always have something to do. I put my hands into things just because I want to see things to the end. Or I'm always that person that wants to help somebody get to the end of whatever their project is. And I tend to stay busy that way. But this year has taught me, okay, number one, everybody's sitting still now, so there's nothing for you to get into but your own business. And then it's okay to just be okay with, the world as it is right now. Find whatever it is God is trying to show you in this season, and glean from it everything that you're supposed to glean. So that was powerful for me this year. And, I feel like I've grown a lot because of it.
I just think who you date around your children is huge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you let everybody meet your child like right away.
No, definitely not.
It just feels unhealthy.
Yeah, and I always say that because I know there was a rule that came out, or Steve Harvey said something about let your the Meet the Kids or something. I was shocked that came out because of safety reasons, because of you don't want your kids developing relationships with everyone they meet, and you get in and out of relationships. And they're like, well, who's this person? What happened to this person? The kids calling the next person the last name. You know, it's just a lot of different things. And, you know, if you want to find out if a man or a woman is good with kids, go to a place where kids are around. And see how they respond to the kids that are around. Are they short with like, oh my gosh, so are they complaining about the kids that are around? Pay attention to those things.
And I give that time too, because they can be nice. You can be nice for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? But you need to be. I think if you're going to let them be around, just to see how they're going to function, you know, around them.
But then I had, like this year in particular, I had to learn to be very aware of, okay, what is actually happening right now? Are you in any danger? Has anyone hurt you yet? Like, no. So stop it. Like, stop being afraid and building up anxiety around things that haven't happened yet. And that was a huge lifesaver for me and my health, for my heartbeat. Thank you.
And that's actually part of personal resilience, is having that social support and people who are in your corner to really help you. There's like different types of people who you have in your life that can really help you overcome, you know, something difficult. And one of those, they're like in categories, and I read about this. So one group is kind of like, you know, those people who really love you, but they also will tell you the truth.
Okay.
That's a good group.
That's good.
That's good. We need that for sure.
And then we have, you know, the group of friends who just, they really get you, right? You're going the same direction, you have the same values, they have that chemistry, and not necessarily the romantic chemistry, but you just click with those people. And then you have the kind of level up people. So you have those people that you admire, the people that you look up to. And a lot of times for me, those are mentors or people that I really look up to and admire the way that they live their life. And I have some of those people in my life too. So I think just kind of having those types of people in your corner really kind of helped me, and I was able to kind of meet people along the way too, and in this whole journey also. Also, I would say I ended up coming across JJ Smith. I don't know if you guys know her from the.
I'm writing down everything.
Okay. So JJ Smith, she developed the 10-day green smoothie cleanse. And so as part of like my whole journey too, you know, I had struggled with weight and just like, you know, when you get lost in a toxic relationship, you kind of let yourself go and, you know, all these different things. And so I wanted to like focus on myself holistically too.
I guess, you know, I always start with looking introspectively, right? What is it that I need in a relationship? Whether it's with my girls, whether it's with my mate, what is it that I'm looking for in this relationship? How does that benefit me? Why is it important to me, right? So as this person is assessing who's in her circle or in her inner circle, you know, what am I getting from this group? If she feels like she's at a place introspectively and she's not getting whatever that is that she needs, if it's love, if it's affirmation, if it's, you know, more intellectual conversation, whatever, there's nothing wrong with slightly pulling away and building new circles. Expand your reach, expand your scope, expand your horizons, expand your territory with friends. Because, you know, your friend circle, you know, your inner circle may only be so big, but then you have you have these layers to relationships. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not being arrogant. You know, that's not being brand new. That's just saying that you're at a place in your life where you need a little something more. Doesn't mean that you don't love these people you've done life with forever. It's just that these people can be the people that you still kick it with from time to time. But if there's something else that you need, then begin to do the work to build that new circle to get what you need in the relationships.
It's good. It's good.
I like that.
Wow.
So then and you know, because I'm one of those people, I don't like to just throw people away. I like people come into our life for a reason and a season, you know, and they should not be thrown away. Because the time that they come into your life was definitely a divine appointed time. But you know, that wherever you were at that time, you're not going to be that same person forever. You're going to grow. That's the nature of life. Well, you're supposed to grow. Some people you get stuck. But my point is, it's okay to have more than one circle to get what you need.
Yeah, that's good.
So I recently went through losing like a lot of weight and getting a better relationship with food, because I used to stress eat. I used to eat out of stress, man. And my child's mother used to be one of the biggest culprits of that, or the biggest reasons why that. I swear to you, I would be on my way from work and the phone would ring and I would see it's her. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what is it now, right? I haven't had the conversation, but that's what I'm thinking. And as soon as I get off the phone, or at least I'm thinking in my head, you know what I'm going to do to appease this? I'm going to Chick-fil-A. And it's just like, what does that have to do with anything, bro? Like, it just compounds your problem, which is you're trying to lose weight. So, like, that's what that used to do for me. But nowadays, she calls and it's just like, okay, yeah, she's calling. Let's figure out. You know what I'm saying? So, at one point in time, the way that it used to look, my description of it might be warped, because of how I used to feel about the situation. So I couldn't even give you a fair answer. Nowadays, they're literally just conversations. You know what I mean?
So if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe right now if you're on YouTube, and then press the little bell to get our notifications when we have new episodes. Also, if you're not following us on Instagram, go to @ChatandChewShow and click the follow button. And also scroll through and like a few things. And we'd love to hear from you if you have any questions for us, ideas for topics, and etc. Thanks again for joining us. Bye.
This episode is brought to you by the Chat and Chew Company. Host, Betty Jones. Co-host, Roxanne Brew. Producer, Vanessa Outland. And music by Elwood Jones.